Hey guys, Kev here, and I have a blade battle for you. This is the micro battle. And your contenders tonight are the Giantmouse Ace, can't open it, Nibbler. This guy's coming in with aluminum scales and an N690 Co blade. Now, you can get this knife in 20 CV and titanium or micarta, whatever, right? So there is a comparable option to these other two. This is made by Riot out of China for Giantmouse. And this version was $85, but you can get, well, we'll get into all that. Then you have the Monaco. This is a Jens Anso design. This is the EDC Monaco. And it's sort of a worrystone finished knife. And this guy is also manufactured by Riot out of China for EDC. So we have the Monaco. And we have the Baby Barlow, or the Baby B. And this guy also manufactured by Riot. So all of these are manufactured by Riot and Tiny. This is the EDC Baby Barlow, designed by Justin Lundquist. Now, I will tell you right off the bat that I have a sneaking suspicion this guy will win. And it's mostly because I absolutely adore this knife. It is one of my favorite knives, I think, of all time. So, there's that. But we shall see. So, let's get into it. We have our normal breakdown here. Here are your categories: materials, price, perceived value, aesthetics, ergos, carry, cutting, sounds, action, fit and finish, leftability, which, if you're right-handed, you can remove that and recount everything and come up with the totals. But this is all my opinion, based off my opinion, so it really shouldn't matter. But I like to mention that there, and then we'll have the totals, and we'll see who wins. So we'll figure out. I don't know if I've done a three-way battle before. I think I have once. I think I did the Waypoint, the Rockwall, and another one. The Sea Otter, I think. Anyway, we'll see how that works, but there you go. So, let's get into it. The first one is materials. Now, obviously, this guy is going to come in last. Is that how we should do it? We'll do 3, 2, 1. Yeah, I remember how we did it. So, you get 3 points for being the best one in this category, 2 points, and then you get 1 point for being last. Or we could do 2, 1, 0, but I'm just going to do 3, 2, 1 to make my life easier. So this one would easily come in last because it is in aluminum and N690 with a wire clip. And then you have the Baby Barlow, which has a M390 blade, and all of this is off the top of my head, so bear with me. M390 blade and titanium with a G10 inlay, titanium clip, titanium liner lock. Then you have the Monaco. This is also an M390 with titanium and a titanium clip. Now, normally I would say, okay, that's a tie, titanium, M390, all that good stuff. But the engraving on this thing, does that count as fit and finish, I guess? Is that where that would fall, maybe? I think we got to move that to fit and finish. So we will tie these two. So we'll do, how does that work? Maybe we'll do it this way. Should we do 3 points per category and I can assign them? So like these two get 1 each and that one, I don't know how that would work. But we don't have a 3 and a 2 and a 1 here, right? Like we have 2 that are the same. We have a tie. Because this also has a tie liner lock. There's really no difference between these two. Titanium hardware, stonewash blade, this one has the G10 inlay. Does that make it better? I don't think so. So why don't we give them each a 2 then? I'll just do that. If I have a tie, everybody will get a 2. So this one will be a 1 for the Nibbler, and then a 2 and a 2. We'll just do it that way. Whatever. Work with me here, guys. As long as it comes out fair or even, if I do everything the same way, it should be fine. Price. All right. This one's $85. This one, and they were, or 95, but they were down to like 70 at one point. This one, I believe, man, I can't remember everything, but like $239 or something. And then this one was around the same price. Guessing it might have been a little bit more because of the engraving on there, but I don't think it matters. Well, I guess it does matter. Shit. Let's look up the price. Sorry, guys. I came well prepared. Let's go. Urban EDC. See if we can't figure this bad boy out. Monaco. Okay. Price right now is $229. So I think I paid $199 on pre-order. And it's $229 normally. Baby Barlow, I think it was the same. Says sold out. Nope, they're listing it at $249. So if I go to, I can't select the option and see the price, of course, but it says $249 on that thing, so I'm going to trust that. It's their website, right? So we will go price, Nib 3, Monaco 2, and then Baby Barlow 1. Now, this one in titanium with 20 CV, which would be comparable to these, is cheaper than either of these. So even if you did that, this one would win that category, just to be clear. Perceived value. So these, man, these sold out like quick. But I don't see them like going for crazy amounts. I actually have a friend who just got one, and his he got for like $140, I think he said, is what he paid, or $150. Like, it was something stupid the person sold it to him for. The Monaco, there is no market for that at this point. And the Nibbler, I don't think has some big market because I tried selling a couple. One thing with these titanium, all of these have a liner with no insert. That one's steel liner, but none of them have a insert. So it makes it to where you can have issues with lock stick. This one in particular, I've had a little bit of grab. This one has stick. I wouldn't even call it grab at this point. I would call it stick because I'll show you in a second. Let me clean that up. Anyway, we'll get into that later. I just want to let the alcohol dry. So perceived value, I really don't have a good category here. I think the Nibbler would be last, so I'm going to give that a 1 because they have a lot of these out there. They're still available, etc. I think the Baby Barlow would be the first because I think it's a very popular model. And I think you don't see them on secondary a lot because people don't sell them. I hope they do another run and do some really cool materials. And then the Monaco, I'll just put in the second place because I got to put a place. And I think it's really cool, and I think it will hold its value. Might not exceed it, but it'll hold it where this is going for less. Hope that makes sense. All right, aesthetics. Now, this one is, very subjective, obviously, but my opinion here. I love the way Giantmouse does their, Biblio, Riv, that whole series, really. Vox. It has a lot of Vox in it. And I love that, man. The aesthetic of it is just beautiful. It really is. The grind lines look fantastic. The aluminum looks good here, honestly. The purple aluminum looks cool. Wire clip. Just a really cool looking little knife. Now, the Monaco is just, it has a flair to it, right? Look at that engraving. This knife, they also kind of classify as a worry stone, which at first I thought was stupid. I'm like, that's dumb. But you could take this clip off, and I mean, look how it folds up. You could use this as a worry stone, the way this engraving feels. I actually got a slip made by my buddy Troy over at Northwoods Leatherworks Co. And I'm going to try it. I'm going to take the clip off, probably put the screw back in, and carry it without... Or actually, no, I might just leave the clip on. I think I talked to him about sliding the clip. Yeah, we'll see. But I'm going to try carrying this without the clip, like kind of like a gentleman's knife, you know. But this is very unique and cool. And then it has this dagger blade to it. It's not sharpened up here, but, you know, it just looks freaking awesome. Now, the Baby B is also one of the sexiest knives going. I love this reverse tanto. Just, man, the whole Baby Barlow thing really gets me on this knife. So I don't know what to do. I really don't know what to do. I want to say that this is so unique, you know. But the Baby Barlow just, there's something about it. I mean, look at it close. It just has this amazing look to it, in my opinion. I do wish they had somehow made this reversible, because it almost feels like it was possible. But, you know, I know aesthetics. And the finish on here, yeah, I'm going with the Baby Barlow in the number 1. And then I'm going to go Monaco 2 and Nib 1, because this, as cool as it is, it's very generic at this point for Vox. You know, here is that stick. I don't know if you can hear it. I mean, it's faint, but it's there. And what is that? You see that? Is that... I don't know what oh, that was okay. It's probably just a little bit of the alcohol still there. But, yeah, I don't remember that stick being there, and then now it's there, and it's annoying. But it's been there for the past week or so, and I've tried putting alcohol on here. Maybe I just need to take it apart, you know, but I just haven't had the time. Anyway, Ergos. Man, this is another tough one. You would not expect this to be a tough category. You really would not. You would think... It's Vox, you know, it's a Vox design. It's going to be money, and it's going to win. And this thing is really comfortable in the hand. I mean, I can get basically, you know, 4 fingers on if I cram them up. But it's mostly a 3-finger knife like this, or, you know, something like that. And then you have this spot up here where you can kind of wrap your thumb up or do this. So it's really comfortable for a tiny knife. All of these are. The Baby Barlow has some amazing ergos to it. It's just, I don't know if it's just the nature of the design, but it's such a small knife. Yet, look at this. I'm comfortably holding all 4 fingers on this thing. I don't know how it does it, but it's comfortable. That is a little bit like, I'm cramming them on. This is comfortable. And then the Monaco is sort of the same way, but I have to go up onto the flipper a little bit to do it. But I mean, it's basically the same handle. You know, it's just a slightly different shape. So, overall, I'm going to go with the Baby Barlow. It just, I don't know, it just melts for me. And then I think this would be second. The generic boxy nature of those somehow makes them better than this. Where this has nice curves to it, and it does feel good, it just doesn't feel as good. You can feel hot spots and whatnot. So... I'm going to go 3 Baby B, 2 Monaco, and 1 on the nib. Carry. So, these 2 right here can be flipped over to lefty carry, and this one cannot. So, I don't know how much that plays a factor. This clip is good, but it is rather tight. I mean, it hurts to get under there and, you know, get it in the pocket. And it works great, honestly. But it is a little bit tight. I don't know. I need an excuse. And then you have the wire clip here, which obviously is a wire clip, which works fantastically. And then here you have this clip. And guys, this is my favorite like stock clip, I think. Now I have a few of those, I guess, so it's one of my favorites, I'll say. But it just works so freaking well. It is an amazing clip. So this one wins for me. The whole knife is tucked into the handle. It weighs absolutely nothing. None of these do, but the carry on this is phenomenal. It really is. They all are, but this actually feels like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, this knife doesn't feel like these. And this will maybe come up later, but like these feel like tiny ass knives, you know? And when you put it in your pocket, you feel silly, kind of like, I'm going to carry this as like a backup knife or whatever in my back left pocket. No, it should be in my fifth pocket or something like that, right? This doesn't feel that way. This one, I'm like, yeah, this is my backup knife today. Like, it's fine. I'll put it in my back left pocket like any other knife and not question that. And a lot of that has to do with the way the clip and the carry is. It's just so good. And then the way it manipulates and doesn't feel like you have to adjust to micro size to use your knife, if that makes sense. But anyway, carry's going to go to the Baby B at 3. And then these two are honestly tied because they both carry lefty. They both are pretty good. I mean, this one, I guess, has a smaller factor to it. But this one maybe is lighter. I think I would give it to the Monaco just because it's going to be a little deeper carry and everything. So I'm going to give it to the Monaco. 2-1, Nibbler. Cutting. So the downside to this one is I love sheep's foot blades, but it has a very stubby tip, right? So it makes it a little harder to use that tip for utility cutting like you'd want to. This one is the worst. By far going to get number 1 right away. It's got this dagger grind, so it's, I mean, look at the bevel is like right here. And then it's just not a lot of edge. And then it didn't come very sharp either. I had to strop. It still doesn't feel very sharp after stropping. It'll do the job. It has a very stubby tip. It'll do the job if you need it to, right? And it's only meant to be sort of your package letter opener, right? And it does that just fine. But out of these 3, it's clearly the worst. The Nibbler here, I would give number 1 easy. It has an actual like penetrating tip. It has a good grind and like a taller grind than the other 2. It feels thinner to me than the other 2. Nice and thin. And pinch grip, kind of utility cutting, this kind of stuff. It just excels at that. So cutting goes to this guy. And Baby B gets 2. Sounds. This one's interesting because they all have good sounds. Here's the Baby B. I don't know if this one needs a cleaning or something. Check. That's tight. You can hear that stick a little bit. Oh, not on that one. Of course not now. Now there's no stick. Seriously? It's just like grab. It's not really stick. It's just enough to annoy me. But you can hear the sound. Really good opening clunk. Decent sound on the close. Then you have the Nibbler. Has a good pop to it. You're not really fidgeting with this one the same way. I mean, you can do this stuff. It's harder for me to flick right-handed because I have the clip over here. If I had it over there, it'd be easier. It does have a bit of a ting. I kind of like to get it past the detent and then push it down like that. I should say, off the lock bar before it crosses the detent. So it's kind of like a double detent where you pop it. I kind of do that. Let's see if I can show you better. Like that. But you can kind of swing it down. This has skiffs in it. The one, we'll get to that in action, I guess, so shut up. But here's the sound, sorry. Man, it's so hard, so little. It's got a good pop to it. Not much of a closing sound. And then the Monaco. Got a good pop to it, and then, you know, not much on the close. Nibbler again. And Baby B. So, to me, it clearly goes to the Baby B. And then these two are very close. I think I'm going to give it to the Monaco. I just think it has a little bit of a better pop to it. And then one to the Nibbler. Action. So, this one for me is last. And it's because of the fact that it's a reverse flicking knife at this really tiny size. And, you know, I'm going to eat these words later because, you know, at Divo, we're kind of working on a micro knife. Now, it's not going to be this small. And we want it to be reverse flickable. But I think at this size, you want to be able to have some kind of a option here. Or here, or here. Like, that's why this is amazing, because you just kind of dangle the small knife and you rip on that top flipper. It doesn't need to be bigger, you know, if that makes sense. People with huge hands can handle this and love it. With this, you have to have, you know, hands that are bordering on, you know, medium to even enjoy it. My hand is a large size hand, but I can just barely, you know, kind of enjoy this. It works. It's just not going to be fun to close, really. Once you get it down, it's fine. And it flicks good. But, like, it has a good detent. I think I tuned this one. I'm not sure if I did, actually. No, I didn't. This one came with a good detent. You can't thumb flick it. So you kind of lose one option because it's just too awkward. I'm sure somebody can. I just can't. Slow roll is really hard. So you really just reverse flick it. And it works pretty well, right? Closing action is not the best. It's on bearings. And, I mean, it's good for a tiny knife. I mean, you can see it like that. But the difference between all these is this one has normal size bearings. 5mm 1/16 bearings. Where this one has microscopic bearings. And this one has really small bearings. Not quite as small as that, if I remember correctly, but still small. And that's why this one will drop to the little bounce and then quick shake down. This one will do a drop, and it almost feels like a normal size knife, the way it just... The smoothness and frictionlessness here is really, really incredible. Now, it's a top flipper, so less detent is required, I guess, so it could be part of that too. But this one clearly wins the action department for me. It just has fidget factor out of the ass. Even though it only has the one method, you can grip it like this on the clip and pop it. And, I mean, the sound is phenomenal when you do that. So this one clearly wins action. Then I would probably give it to the Monaco next. Because it has a flipper, you can hold the little knife and kind of just do the push button. You have to learn this flipper tab, but it works great. And that's what I'm saying with a micro knife like this. It's just nice to have an option around here somewhere. Because getting down here and doing this and repeatedly trying to do that can be frustrating. And there's a lot of times where I fumble a little bit and then I almost cut myself. Like, you know, I've almost had the tip like go into my hand multiple times, and it's just not as enjoyable as these. So Monaco 2, Nib 1. Fit and finish. So Riot did these. I can pull this one first. Now, they're all Riot. They're all really well made, but I can tell that they, you know, this is a $95 knife for a reason. They had to do some things to make that happen. You know what I mean? And no, it's not obvious. There's not like things that look bad. It's just that these look crisper and they look more expensive, if that makes sense. This is a really good knife. But like the screw here for the clip is a button head screw. It's, you know, it looks pretty obvious that this is a steel backspacer, aluminum backspacer. You know, they still did the great grind lines from Riot. I mean, that's impressive that they did that at that price point. So a lot good here. I mean, dead centered. A lot of good stuff here. Just saying. It's, you know, the fit and finish doesn't feel quite as on par as these two. This one has a really sick inlay. That G10 inlay right there. This cool button sort of pivot looks good. The hardware down here is flush and looks good. This aluminum oxide finish, I believe, is what this is. It's not just a bead blast. Like a bead blast is this from Riot. So this is different. This is, I guess, an aluminum oxide finish. This is closer to what you see from Jack Wolf knives. Not quite the same, but you can see it's, you know, because different companies, I assume. But it's a lot similar there. And I like it a lot. That looks good. The jimping's really well done. The inset liner lock in titanium is a nice touch in fit and finish category. And it's hard to do, man. It's hard to get right and not have stick. And like I said, this one has grab occasionally. I would not call it stick. I would call it grab, where it just maybe squeaks slightly on the way out, but it doesn't like hinder my disengagement, if that makes sense. So it's just an OCD thing more than anything, I think. And of course, half the time it doesn't do it. So it's like, you know, could just be oil too. But the fit and finish here is fantastic. The way this clip is mounted, the way you can see the liner is the lock bar is mounted right under there and hidden under the clip. How clever is that? And then the clip screw is right there. And then you have this sort of spacer. I mean, it's just amazing. It's a really good fit and finish. But who are we kidding? Look at this thing. I mean, for being cheaper than that, it's impressive to me. Look at that engraving. Just gnarly, you know. The only thing I'd point to on this not being as nice as the other one, the Baby B, is the screws right here should be flush. In my opinion, these should be flush. But that's it. You know, and I do wonder if I swap this screw with that screw, would it? I don't know, I might try that in a second. But otherwise, they're very similar. But you can just see a level of attention to detail on this one in terms of details from Anso and Riot in their manufacturing. I just really think this is just punching above its weight class, honestly. So, fit and finish is going to go to Monaco 3. Oops. Baby B2, and then Nibbler 1. Leftability. So this one is going to, they're all liner locks. So you can see they're all liner locks. So they're all going to be lefty friendly in nature. The Monaco and the Nibbler have reversible clips. So they're lefty friendly in that sense. The Baby Barlow has this top flipper, which just works no matter what handed you are. You don't need a clip. Like, it just works. And even if you want to do the front flipper thing, you can just grip the frame and it still works just fine. So to me, this one's super lefty friendly. The clip obviously isn't, but it's kind of a fifth pocket knife, so you could just put it in your fifth pocket. Doesn't matter if you're left-handed or right-handed in that case, right? The Nibbler, you know, you can flip the clip, and then it works really well left-handed to reverse flick. And then you have to disengage the lock, just like that one. So, man, it is... My dog's dreaming. It is very lefty friendly. And then the Monaco is the same way. I mean, other than the lock disengagement, it's the same experience, left or right, because you have the clip that you can flip. So I kind of feel like they're all even. There's not really one over there. I guess these two, because of the clips, should tie, and then that one should be last. That's how I would do it. So Baby B is going to be 1, and then I'll do 2 and 2. Okay, fair? All right, so that was the battle of the micros, the micro battle. I know that was a little disjointed, but hey, that's how we roll around here. So let's see, totals. For the Nibbler, we have 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 2 is 16. For the Baby B, we have 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 17, 20, 23, and 3, 23. And for the Monaco, we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, and 4 is 22. Oh, my God. Just lost it by 1 point. How about that, guys? Did not expect your baby Barlow to be that close to the Monaco. I mean, that's almost a crapshoot right there. You know? That's crazy. I knew this one would probably come last because, honestly, in my mind, it is last. And you know what? This is so dumb. I don't even know why I have to say this out loud. This is the order I see it. Sorry, I know that's dumb because it's literally my... Yeah, okay. But yeah, that's the order I see it. I really, really, really love the Baby Barlow. I do. It's one of my favorite knives of 2022, and just one of my favorite knives overall. And I cannot wait to see what they do with this model because there's no way they're just doing the one run. I mean, it was so popular. At least it felt like it. And could you imagine fat carbon inlays or fat carbon bodies with titanium? I mean, it's just endless the options you could go with on these. I feel the same way about the F5. Like, they need to just do some freaking fat carbon, camo carbon stuff. But they'll probably do it, like, next year when we're on to, you know, carbon quartz or some shit. Love it. And then the Monaco just has a special thing to it. It just does. I need to send this one out to Kyle Coonley or somebody to put an edge on, because I think with a good crisp edge on this, it would probably be awesome, you know. So maybe I'll pack up a couple knives and send them over to him. But I really like this knife as well. There are times where, so I'll give you my quick gripes on all of them. There are times where this one, I'll kind of like just keep missing the flipper tab. I don't know if it just like needs to break in, or maybe my hands are sweaty at the moment. And because, you know, if you miss that jimping pad, you're done. That's the only spot you have to grab, right? You have to grab that jimping pad and flip it around, or, you know, you're not getting it. But you saw the whole video here. I had no issue. So it's really just, you know, a matter of, did I chip the blade and just, I gotta send it to him now. No, I didn't. I don't know what happened. It's, oh, not locked up. I drop knives and I'm like, oh my God, did I break it? But it's a freaking knife. Like, if that broke it, it'd be pretty bad, you know? But yeah, I really like this one. And then the Nibbler's kind of like, it's cool. I like, it's a little knife, like whatever. But I think I plan to give this one away. on a live stream or something. I don't ever think to carry it anymore. And it was fun while it lasted when I first got them because it was unique and cool and all that stuff. And I don't have anything against the knife. I don't know. It's just a little too small for the way I like to fidget with knives. And yeah, I just would rather carry one of these two. So I'll probably give this away unless one of you guys is looking to buy one. I'll give you a deal on it or something. It does have that little bit of stick that, it's not, but it's there. So anyway, there you go. The micro battle. Let me know what you guys think down below. I absolutely love you guys. If you enjoyed this, hit the like button. Hit that subscribe button if you're still here. Let me know in the comments, like I said, what you think. If you have an opinion, if you think I'm wrong, tell me why, etc. I love you guys. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day, and I will catch you later.